boy, I just wanted to go through some of the blue checkmark responses from yesterday because, gee, I just don't know what else to say. They were so right on target. Now that's a joke. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it actually target like Sarah Palin meant it. Alicia Sultan or Ashia or whatever her name is. She says, God forbid. Listen, you're listening right now to a guy who is in the Radio Hall of Fame. I am so good at what I do. I don't even have to know how to pronounce names. Okay? I don't have to. They were like, this guy is like a radio god. Yeah, but have you heard him? Yeah, no, we haven't. But put him in the Hall of Fame. Okay, so anyway, What's Her Face says, God forbid someone you love gets killed by gun violence. I second that. Second Amendment fetishizing will never bring them back or make that loss easier to bear. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, hang on, let me just take the ball out of my mouth here because I have this fetish thing with the Second Amendment. It is hot. Too many people believe unfettered access to guns will never hurt someone they love until it happens. Oh, okay. I don't know what your point is really here. Marianne Williamson says, people will die because of this. And to be very clear, now listen to this argument. To be very clear, they're not doing this to protect the Second Amendment. They're doing it to protect the primacy of property rights. Well, gosh, that's a good reason to do it too, I guess. I mean, I didn't even think of the property right part, but thanks for pointing that out, Marianne. Neil Katyal says, it's going to be very weird if Supreme Court ends a constitutional right to obtain an abortion next week, saying it should be left to the states to decide, right after it imposed a constitutional right to conceal and carry firearms, saying it cannot be left to the states to decide. Neil, here's what you're missing, dude. One is actually in the Constitution. It's called the Second Amendment. That tells the federal government and the states exactly what they can and cannot do. What government cannot do. There is no right to abortion. Show it to me. Show it to me. When you can show it to me, I will change my argument. That, when it's not in the... I'll talk slowly for you, Neil. When it's not in the Constitution, then... there's this part of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. It's just look for the number 10, okay? And that says anything that's not specifically in the Constitution, that goes then to the states. Yeah, look at you. You're going to read someday, Neil. Jill Flipovic says the kind of people who desperately want to carry concealed weapons in public is based on a generalized interest in self-defense are precisely the kind of paranoid, insecure, violence fetishizing people who should not be able to carry a concealed weapon in public. Okay, so let me get this right. If you want to carry one, you're the kind that shouldn't carry one. So in other words, when this is right. Jill, my gosh, my whole world is changing. Thank you for this. Now I understand when Martin Luther King went in and said to the state officials, hey, I need to have a concealed carry permit. He's exactly the kind of guy you Democrats didn't want to carry a gun. Yes, Jill. Thank you for that enlightenment. David Hogg says you're entitled to your opinion, but not your own facts. And like your own facts, you aren't entitled to your own history. That is exactly what the Supreme Court decision is. It's a reversal of 200 plus years of jurisprudence that will get Americans killed. David, have you read a book? Have you? Come on, have you read a book? Do you know anything at all about... Name 3 founders. Can you do it? I mean, right now, think. Go. Can't do it, David. 200 years. the only times in our history, and you wouldn't know this because all the left buries the Democratic history. The only time that we have any kind of history where we're taking guns away from people is when the government is afraid of those people, when the government gets really, really racist, okay? That's why the Indians, that's why they're living on reservations now, because we took away their guns. Yeah. That's why after the Civil War and before the Civil War, slaves could not have guns. Why? Because they might defend themselves. And then, after they were freed, oh my gosh, the Democrats freaked out. Those freed slaves will have a way to protect themselves. And they got it done through all kinds of laws, kind of like what you're doing now. Thank you, David, for writing in. You're special. March for Our Lives, blue check mark, said yesterday. The court's decision is dangerous and deadly. The unfairly nominated, blatantly partisan justices put the Second Amendment over our lives. No, may I quote the Princess Bride? I do not think those words mean what you think they mean. Okay? Second Amendment is there to protect our lives, to protect our property, and to protect our freedom. I just want to throw that one out. The blood of American people who die from needless gun violence will be on their corrupt hands. Okay. Wahajit Ali said, let's have a bunch of black, brown, and Muslim folks carry large guns in predominantly white neighborhoods. I know the Second Amendment advocates will say that's great and encourage it because American history proves otherwise. We might get gun control, but we'd also get a lot of chalk outlines. Mr. Ali, you are so funny. See, what you fail to recognize is that all of the people that you say are racist aren't racist. There are racists in this country. A lot of them seem to come from the left. You know, like the socialist Klan members or the socialist Nazi members. You see what they both have in common there? Yeah, Democratic Party. Anyway, Mr. Ali, if someone wants to carry a gun and they're a Muslim, I have absolutely no problem. You're black, you're brown, you're white, you're pink, you're polka dot. You have COVID and you're not wearing a mask, or you don't have COVID and you're wearing 20 masks and you want to carry a gun, I'm totally fine with that. Now, if you get a bunch of people, and again, I don't care what color they are, marching down my neighborhood with large guns, yeah, I am going to call the police because that's unusual. What are you doing? We're just marching with our guns. Why in my neighborhood at night? None of your business. Does Kavanaugh live around here? Okay? See, there's a difference. There's a difference. Right-wingers can freak out about nullification or packing or whatever. No one cares. You broke all the norms of decency, democracy, and fairness. Oh, my gosh. Oh, wait, this is from David Atkins. He's got a great solution. End of the day, California and New York are not going to let Wyoming and Idaho tell us how we have to live in a Mad Max gun climate hell. Oh, my gosh. David, let's break some bread, baby. Let's come together. Yeah, all right. Let me do my best Marianne Williamson. Home, home. Yeah, because we can come together. What you just said is the point of the 10th Amendment. California and New York, I don't want to live like them. You don't want to live like us. So let's not. However, There are 10 big things, and I've heard they've added to these, but there are 10 big things that no government in the United States of America can do. Now, you want to change that? Let's change it. Because what's so crazy is there's this thing called the amendment process. You want to change the Constitution. You don't, break all norms of decency, democracy, and fairness. You don't break those. You want to change those amendments. You can do it. All you have to do is go through the amendment process. And then, if you say everybody's got to have a pig on their lap, you get the states to vote for that. Put it in the amendment. You have it. Now, there will probably be another amendment that comes later that says, hey, the pig in the lap thing was really, really stupid, and I think America lost its mind temporarily, so we're gonna scratch that one out. From here on out, no more absolute must have a pig on your lap kind of laws. Okay? But both of those would be done through the amendment process. That would be doing it the decent way, the fair way, and the democratic way. But David, you are cute when you think you're cute. Tristan Schnell writes in, when American service members die overseas, their caskets are brought to Dover Air Force Base to be displayed and mourned. No, they're not displayed. I don't know if you've noticed this, but we try not to display the dead. But when Americans die because of gun violence, their caskets should be brought to the steps of the Supreme Court so the justices can see what they've done. Yeah. Tristan, I like that. Why don't we take every baby that's been aborted and put them in a bucket? I mean, we're going to need a big bucket, 'cause there's millions of those. And let's dump them on the front steps of the Supreme Court so they can see what they've done. Wow. I got to thank all the blue check marks, 'cause you've really turned me around.